Welcome back to the course, and I hope you're excited for this video because a lot of questions you might have might be, how much money should I start by investing? Comment below just to see what number you think is appropriate. But in this video we're gonna break down so you will learn what is a good amount to get started with. How much money could you maybe, save, and then so you can compound as much as possible. So how much could you put in every month? So we're gonna break that down so you get actionable points, what you can do today in order to get the most out of trading and investing. And obviously the situation might be different depending on where you are in your life. But the most important thing, write this down because this is the most important thing, is to get started. Alright, so let me show you here what you need to get started. In order for you to really get the most out of trading and investing, you need of course to put money in. The more money you have, the more you can make. Let me give you an example of that. So if, for example, you put in 1,000 pounds, could be pounds, could be dollars, doesn't really matter, but let's say you put in $1,000 and you make 10% on this. 10%, how much is that? You probably guessed it. It's 100. That is correct, right? You make 100 in profit. Now, then of course the question is, how much money do you make if you put in, for example, 10,000, right? This might be basic for some of you, but we need to really go into this as well so you can understand what it means. So let's say you have 10,000 and now let's say you make 10%, all right? Which means that you're making 1,000. All right, so now we're talking, right? Now it's a little bit more, now it's starting to get interesting. And we discussed as well that you can make 20% with one of our investment strategies. This is a year, but still. And that would mean $2,000 in profits, right? And that's quite interesting, isn't it? And remember, then it compounds. We're going to go into what compounding is, which actually Albert Einstein said is one of the wonders of the world. So we're going to go into that as well. But for now, how much should you start with? Well, for the stock market, which is what we're discussing now, we think a great amount to start with is 2,000 pounds, right? Around roughly 2,000. Now, why is 2,000 a good amount to start with? The reason is that every time you buy and sell, you pay a little bit of fees, right? So let's imagine you pay, maybe we have some really good brokers. The one we're going to show you is one of the cheaper ones we've found. But let's say, for example, you pay $2, right? $2 every time you buy. That's how the broker, because you can't just go to the market, you need to go via a broker. And a broker, they make the dealings for you. So you give them money and they give you shares. So they are the intermediary between the market and you. So, and they get paid for their services. So every time you buy, you pay $2. Every time you sell, you pay $2. Which means that for a whole deal, you would pay $4. So just imagine, well, Dennis, I'm going to start with 100. Great, then you pay 4% in fees every time you buy and sell, right? Every time you make a deal, which is a lot, which means if you make 20%, well, then we can take away those percentages that you pay for fees. So in order for this to be worth it, I'd say 2,000 is a great amount to start with. So if you have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 is really good as well, of course, but one of those. But then I'm going to show you something that no one does, right? No one do this, no one. What if you could do this? What if you can do this here? What if you could save, right? You could put in an additional, like 100 pounds per month. Wow, what a concept, right? What an amazing thing to do. So if you start with 2,000, but then you add 100 a month, my friends, if you do this for 1 year, 2 years, you will be amazed with the results. We have one here at the office. Her friend started with around 2,000, adding 100, 200 pounds a month, and after 3 years, gone from 2,000 to 30,000, including some of the profits. From 2,000 to 30,000 in a couple of years. Just because it's not what you do. It's not, if you go into one position, you take one trade and that goes up 1,000,000%. That is very rare that it ever happens. But if you keep going, it's gonna happen. And if you keep going over time, you will do really, really well. All right? So 2,000 is a good amount to start with. And remember, when you, in the beginning, you will also begin on a demo account. So you will begin with fake money, a little bit like playing Monopoly, right? It's not really your own money to begin with, unless you want to go into real estate. Then you can do it with your own money. A demo account works the same way. So what's going to happen is you have the exact same setup. You can start with 2,000 there as well if you want to. And then you trade and invest exactly like you would with real money. And while you're practicing, then you're going to save up to 2,000, or if you have it already, perfect. And then you're going to start live, right? Practice makes perfect, almost. But practice is really the repetition is the mother of all skill, like Tony Robbins says. So really that's the key here. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. And that's going to make you successful at this. Because most people give up too early. So 2,000 is a really good amount to begin with. Now, the last thing I want to mention here is, and this, by the way, is something people forget. If you, for example, let's imagine this. We're going to teach you strategies where you can make 3%, right, per month. So you're going to learn the basics and fundamentals of that, right? And if you start, this is interesting, because if you start with 2,000, and you can start with less, that is okay, and you're adding 100 pounds per month, right? And just know this, if you do this, it will go really well for you. But look, 100 pounds a month, that is, don't feed your kids as much, or, don't eat as much. Or maybe don't go out that one night a month that you spend on the drinks and dinner. Eat at home, and then you can use those for your future self. That's one thing I could suggest, right? So comment below, is that possible for you? And the last thing I would say here, if you do this, if you make 3% a month, you start with 2,000 as a one time, you will double your money every other year, all right? So year one, you would have 2,000. Not very exciting, is it? So, but year three, you would now have 4,000. Year six, you would have 8,000, right? Year 5, you will have 8,000. Year 7, right? Year 7, you will have 16,000. And year 9, you would have 32,000. You can see where I'm going with this, right? You see how fast this is growing. It doesn't really look like fun in the beginning, but hey, as you make more and more, it's going to go faster and faster. And guess here what the next step is? 64,000, right? 128,000. So if you keep with this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a get rich, right? This is get rich, but slowly but surely. And the more time you put in, you can make it go faster as well. Some of you might have already thought, well, what if I start with 4,000? What if I get better and make a little bit more percentage? Or what if I add 200 or more per month instead? So this is how much you should start with, right? So in this video, just to summarize, we have gone through how much money should you get started with. And with stocks, 2,000 is a good amount. And yes, then also what no one does is to save maybe 100 extra per month as well. And then you will really see the compounding. So I hope you're ready for the next video, because we are. But don't forget to subscribe. Right, so click the button below, subscribe, and comment what do you think about this video. Are you gonna compound? Let us know, and I'll see you in the next video.